Currency. 7, continental planning. Also very important. The problems that Africa faces, it's not just a nation-state problem. These problems are continental. They are continental, and so we got to approach them continentally. Look at Africa's 5 major river basins: the Nile, the Zambezi, the Orange, the Congo, and the Niger, River Niger. They all are now being affected adversely by global warming, some more than others, especially the River Niger, because it's in West Africa and the equator and it's the heat. But all these rivers are bordered by several countries. And if one country does anything to the river significant, it affects everybody else. Take the Nile. The Nile, the longest river in the world. It's longer than the United States. It's almost 4,000 miles. The Nile. And about 10 countries border it. And right now, Egypt would almost be at war with Ethiopia if Egypt didn't have so many domestic problems, because Ethiopia is damming a part of the Nile. And they warned them, but Egypt just has too many domestic problems to be trying to go to war with Ethiopia. And so Ethiopia is, I don't know if they're finished or about finished. You know, when you dam the river, it affects everybody. And so, of course, see, the Egyptians think that Nile belongs to them. They just have that concept, but it does not. So sit down and plan. Sit down and plan. You know, less than 5% of African agriculture is irrigated. Imagine. So we still depending on the rain gods. If it don't rain, it's starvation. Simple. When you got all these water in Africa, but it's a continental effort to irrigate the continent. Look at the Congo River. It has the second largest volume of water in the world, second only to the Amazon. When properly hydroelectrified, it can produce 150,000 megawatts of power. That's 3 times Africa's current capacity. But it's, you know, it's a huge project. Should just the Congo be responsible for that project, when in fact it can electrify 60% of Africa? So this is a continental planning. Or you take the coast. Let's take the west coast of Africa, the Guinea where we are, the Gulf of Guinea. All kind of trouble is taking place there. Piracy, it's not just over in Somalia, we got piracy over here. We have drug trafficking. We have overfishing. The Japanese and the Koreans, they just come in our waters because we don't have any ships and we don't have the satellites to see, and taking all the fish. And so the fishermen, the fish, it's quality of fish going out in canoes, it's smaller. We got marine pollution, we got marine border conflicts. You got to sit down and plan it. Because, well, I mean, that's just a Gulf of Guinea, several countries, you know. And to correct or to address these problems, again, continental. You can go all over it. Look now, Ebola. I don't know if you found Ebola is spreading like something. That disease don't recognize these monkeys. Monkeys don't recognize any Ebola. They not pull out no visa. Okay, I like to come. I like to come to West Africa. Here's my visa. They climb in the forest stretch all over. That's it. Oh, the mosquito. The mosquito don't need no more. You're gonna solve mosquitoes. You can't do it in one country. So the continent has no choice but to plan. And so this is what we need. Let me read this. This came from the Washington Post a few years ago about the Congo. The Congo has suffered like something. I mean, it's because it's the wealthiest country in Africa. It's right in the heart of Africa. It's so wealthy. Just your head will spin. The wealth, mineral wealth, agricultural wealth. I should have mentioned earlier that 3 countries in Africa can feed the whole Africa, even though it's mostly arid. That's Nigeria, the Congo, and okay, the 2 Sudans. That's those 4 countries, because Sudan is 2 now. Those 4 countries can feed the whole African, billion people in Africa, can feed the whole continent. I'm sorry, those 4 countries can feed the continent several times over. Wow. The Congo can feed the whole Africa. The Congo can feed the whole African billion people. Those 4 countries can feed that's why I said poverty and hunger will be solved in Africa. Let me read you to the Congo. The Congo has the agricultural potential to feed the whole of Africa, but translating that potential into reality will take a concerted effort on the part of policymakers. The Congo has a vast, unrealized agricultural capacity. Straddling the equator and spanning 2 tropical zones, its climate favors the cultivation of a wide range of tropical and even Mediterranean crops. More than half of the DRC, that's the Democratic Republic of the Congo's land, is arable and suitable for farming. However, it is estimated that only 1 to 2% of the nation's farmable territory has so far been under cultivation at any one time. Just 1 to 2% of this land. Coffee beans, potatoes, and leeks can be produced in the high plains of the east and south. The cool temperatures and the fertile soil of the eastern highlands favor the cultivation of tomatoes, sweet potatoes, yam, and pumpkins, and even Mediterranean vegetables such as artichokes and asparagus. So high is the agricultural yield that it is not uncommon when the rainy season is very long to replant immediately after harvest and then get a second crop during the same season. This is what we're talking about. How rich the continent. This is why the continent is under attack. It's been under attack for so many centuries because it's so wealthy. There's so much we could talk about. You know, slavery just sent all the quantity out, but it hasn't changed. Now the quality is going out. I'm telling you, Africa's just do the health sector. Africa's doctors, nurses, pharmacists, medical technicians are leaving this country like you wouldn't believe. It's nearly more Ghanaian doctors in New York City than it is in the whole Ghana. And they're taking engineers, all kind of technical people. The continent is still sending, going out and serving the industrial countries. And the way that the slave trade did. It's just that slavery was quantity. So many thousands of us taken away. Now there's quality. It's so the doctor-patient ratio is so high in Ghana. You go in a rural place, you can't hardly find a doctor. If they're gonna stay in Ghana, they'll stay in the Accra, Kumasi. They don't want to go in the villages where the majority of people live. If they decide to stay in Africa. The globalization, we're the victims of it. It's so easy to get them now, the globalization. You get them even before they finish school. Their visa, everything is provided for them. We provide everything, mineral resources, and because the industrial countries are graying, they need these doctors and nurses. And well, that's a tangent.